Good evening, everyone. I warmly welcome all of you to the information session of CPM Management Research Forum 2023, organized by the Institute of Chartered Professional Managers of Sri Lanka, commonly known as CPM Sri Lanka. Today, we hope to give clarifications about the forum in line with our scope. Of course, you can post your questions via chat box. Those will be answered by our panel. So today we have invited Dr. Samantha Ratnayaka, Chairman of CPM Management Research Forum 2023 and the Governing Council member of CPM Sri Lanka to give an overview of the CPM Management Research Forum 2023. We also invited Mr. Gayan Gunawardena, Head of Technical Committee of CPM Management Research Forum 2023 and a fellow member of CPM Sri Lanka to explain about the technical guidelines. And a gentle reminder to the audience, please keep your camera off and mic in muted mode because this session is recording. So with that, may I invite founder and president of CPM Sri Lanka, Professor Lakshman R. Vatavela, for the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, and good evening to all of you. I think today we are launching our research forum. I think I'm very happy to see Dr. Samantha Ratnayaka, then also our Gayan Gunawardena, and also I saw some of our earlier members who have been performing extremely well, and I think they are also going to speak today. And of course, our director, Mr. Dilshan Alskulratna. Now, we have been having this research forum, I think, for a few years, and this year I think it's going to be of special significance with the theme that they're having of achieving business and institutional growth through insightful research. So actually, if you look at the management body, now we are the chartered professional managers, and one of the successors or the success of a professional management body is the research work that we are undertaking. Because that's why I must say that we are indeed thankful to our council members, Dr. Samantha Ratnayaka and Mr. Gayan Gunawardena, who have been playing a leading role in this, and of course assisted by our own secretarial division headed by our director, Mr. Dilshan Alskulratna. You see, without research, you really don't know where you are going. Now, if you really look at the current situation of our country, we have many people who are doing things over and over again. But you see, when you do the research work, you can really find whether there are shortcomings, there are weaknesses, there are strengths, and also whether we are going in the right direction. And for those who are undertaking research, it also enables them really to put their thinking cap on, because when one does research and when they go into the corporate sector, because the corporate sector is an area where it's not only research, which has to be put into operation. It is operational research, I think, because today we have many people who talk of many things, but ultimately when they go to do it, they can't do it in the right manner. So if we are going to succeed, that's why the case studies, I think this case study concept has been put forward. And I was recently going through one of the first management bodies in Asia, the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, when it was set up. And the great success of this organization was the case study concept. Today, they are the number one in the management education. and they have reached this status because of their research work and the case study. So they are really specialists in that area. And one would also see that when, especially for in the learning cycle, that case studies have improved and done quite a lot. So I'm happy that those who with the very good knowledge and experience are there to tell you what you can gain from it. Because I think there are some of the areas they are concentrating on the corporate area and the industry case studies, which I think is a must, because sometimes we find that only universities are carrying out research and the people in the corporate sector seem to maybe lag behind. So that is one thing, but also if the university researchers get involved with the corporate sector and work with them in the case studies, then they are helping not only themselves, but also the industry and commerce that are there. So that's what we are planning, that from our side, we want to improve this area. And we have definitely, from the results that we have seen earlier, we have had excellent people who have come. And I think the first presentation would be done by one who has really gained eminence in this field. Then the areas covered. Now I saw that digital literacy is covered. Now digitalization is an area that will, I think the only area that I can see which, if implemented in a proper way, can take Sri Lanka to the maybe the newly industrialized, and also maybe to make it a growth center if we are able to go into the digitalization. So that's important, because if you look at India, the major cities of India, if you really look at Hyderabad, how it developed is on the digital technology. At that time, of course, it was maybe information technology. Now it's digitalization, and they are really at the topmost levels that are there. But we really have to now even start and ensure only way that we can go forward is education. Education and digitalization, we can overcome all poverty. All poverty levels can be overcome by that. So this maybe is something that other countries have seen, and why we are not making use of this. Then also that important areas of the environmental, social, and governance. Now, that's something which a lot of them talk. Now, today we are having a severe drought. If you look at some of the reasons for this severe drought, is that maybe they are clearing our forests, they are damaging the waterfalls. So, a lot of areas where these things are happening. Then, if you look at the social area, even look at what IMF has recommended, these are really causing a lot of social concerns to our people. So I'm just telling this because in your research work, you may need to look into this. Because all the inefficiencies, now they say that we must look at total cost pricing. We agree on that. But then IMF is not telling that you go and land all your inefficiencies into the total cost. If you do that, then the society is going to suffer. So social costs. So ultimately, all what is done, all mistakes that are done, all maybe the falls, and because even going broke. Now today we are a broke country. Now ultimately, who has to? So the society has to bear all these things. Then governance, of course, everyone takes of the governance. If there is no proper governance, then ultimately you cannot run a country. And these are all areas. But the research will show these things, but we also need to see how. So I think there is the final one of applied research. I think that's, I'm sure Dr. Samantha would have definitely put that in the right context of the applied research projects. Now, that would be the culmination of all these things. If you have the applied research, then it will really help. So I'm very thankful because we have a large number who are present here, they know the value of it. And I'm sure that they will all be able to, because we are going to have a research forum. Earlier, we used to combine it with our conference and others, but now this time we are going to have a research forum. And we, as you know, we are also connected with the largest management body in Asia. It's called the Association of Management Development Institutions in South Asia. It's called AMDISA. Now, AMDISA, India is a country that has maybe expanded the management education. How they did this was they set up what is called postgraduate business schools. Because you see, you can be a graduate, but then they thought that if you have a postgraduate business school, then these people who graduate will be able now to go into the business sector, into the management sector, where their performance could improve. Now that's something that we are really still maybe we are still maybe in our infancy in that area. But India, maybe every maybe state has so many management institutions. Now, if you look at AMDISA, I think they have about 350 maybe institutions from the different countries in South Asia, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. Then there is also Nepal, Bhutan. All these countries are there. But India has a large number. Pakistan also has, because they were all together. Then Bangladesh also has. So this business education at a postgraduate level is very important, because I know that when you go to some of these places, they may have done engineering, but maybe in the postgraduate, either the MBA or the postgraduate business, they may be doing human resource. So they go also into a different field where they can go into it. So now these are things that I'm just saying, because the chartered professional managers are working in a direction. We want to take Sri Lanka to a new direction. That's what we are planning. So we are now developing. We have links with the AMDISA, then also as I told you, I was speaking of the Indian Institute of Management in Ahmedabad. So we are going to make use of those links for the betterment of the Sri Lankan management who are there. So I'm sure that this research forum that we are planning is something that we are doing for the good of today, but also to build the future of the management profession. So I'm sure that our experts who are here will be able to tell you more of what we are going to do. But this is the larger and the bigger picture that we have, and I'm very happy that the support has been obtained from our council members, our members who are present here. Dr. Samantha is there, Gayan is there, then our director is there, and many others who have been supporting us. So I wish this forum all the best, and I'm sure that this will lead us to a different and maybe a more enlightened direction, especially at this moment where we are in a difficult situation. So the management profession will show how we can come out of this, and we can really take Sri Lanka to a new horizon. Thank you, and all the very best.
Thank you very much, Professor, addressing us, and which is really inspiring to the audience. Before we move to our technical explanation, we have invited Dr. Mahesh Vipula Jayasinghe, the Managing Director, Empower Soft Skills Private Limited. Actually, Dr. Jayasinghe will share his honest feedback as the gold medalist of corporate and industry case studies category of CPM Management Research Forum 2022, which was our previous event. You can see all highlights and the publication of our previous forum in our website, www.cpmsrilanka.org. So with that, may I invite Dr. Jayasinghe to share your honest feeling. Over to you, Dr. Jayasinghe.
Thank you, Darshana. It's an honor to share some thoughts. And especially when I was listening to Professor Lakshman, I thought like this has been done 10 years ago, Sri Lanka would have been in a different level. But somewhere we need to start because I'm also involved with multiple universities, but sometimes the research is done in the university may not really support operations and strategy of corporate world. So when this forum was there, I thought of doing anyway, I'm involved in leadership coaching. And most of you all who know me knows that I do quite a lot of different aspects. So I thought of sharing my leadership coaching experience in a blue chip organization while maintaining confidentiality of the client, how the impact happened to that organization after a series of coaching the senior leadership team over a period of 6 months, how the results came up quantitatively and qualitatively, how the results really showed from a behavioral change. Now, that type of a research is something lacked sometimes sometimes maybe in a university, but I think CPM or encourage us to do research from multiple different perspectives. Today, Gen Z has come into the market, so many new things are happening around. So even this year also, I thought of submitting similar research on through my experience in. So my advice to you is like this is a wonderful opportunity. Go ahead and do share your practical experience, and so hopefully that your research will be accepted and you will be able to contribute to the knowledge of the corporate research world. Over to you, Risha.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jaisingh. You gave a kickstart for this information session, and which is really admiring to the newcomers, especially. So, thank you so much for your wonderful thoughts. So, next, I would invite Dr. Samantha Ratnayaka to give the overview of this forum. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Dilshan Arsakuratna, the Director CPM. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I first say a big thank to founder President Professor Lakshman Narwatawal for giving the leadership and giving the larger and the macro picture. In addition to that, I want to thank Dr. Jaisingh for coming forward and say a few words, because that's the kind of engagement we need and we are looking for. So more than that, we are speaking on that. I think we need more and more Dr. Jaisingh type members coming forward and doing this needful. In fact, in my the talk, more than I'm going to take you into the details where our colleague, the technical head, Mr. Gayan Gunawardhan, will take you from the selection process to down the line, all the details. So while you are seeing this research symposium, the first slide, so may I say, first setting the research, the chairman of the committee point of view, like what we are doing. So as you know, in addition to complement to what Professor Watawala said, as an integrative management body, the CPM is in the forefront of converging, getting multiple professional bodies under one umbrella to get that professional management upliftment in their respective fields, whether it's a private sector or public sector. Having said that, as Professor said, the country requires the growth through some kind of impetus. So that is where insightful research comes. In terms of the general psyche of research, is even though we can dissect the meaning called research, to search again, to find it out, replication, see whether other studies have done, and so on. So largely, I would say, including our personal engagements, we can see that we are heavily bound by social research. So the social researchers, with due respect, even though they are doing their research findings, I would say they are not directly involving in complex problem solving. So in that sense, what's happening in terms of the largely society is looking at, seeking for something else. Now, if you go to 2015 World Economic Forum, 2020 World Economic Forum report, 2022, 2025 skill set, we can see that out of the top 10 competencies, the main one is the complex problem solving. So if you look at 2025 list, is the problem solving, self-management, leading others, technology use and development. So if you look at the first component itself, complex problem solving is about main 5 competencies. So with that, if we come to our applied research, as Professor also highlighted, in that sense, we can see that it's about specific problem and specific solutions. So in that sense, multiple institutions do require the co-opetition, convergence of multiple ideas to develop their current business operations to next level. So in that sense, members like professionals like Dr. Jayasingh should come forward, because whatever we are doing in our respective industries, we should come to a forum and share that. So that is how we can share together. We can create value to take it to the next level. So in that sense, what we are trying to set a forum, this management research forum, means where we are giving the higher priority towards this industry-specific applied operational research findings into a forum. So in that sense, as the 4 areas, Mr. Dilshan, if you go to the next page, we can see that where these 4 categories largely looking at, our focus is to get this applied research aspect. So in that sense, specifically, apart from what Professor Watawala said, so we want to get more and more cases, there are success stories, transformational stories, and the real revival cases, and taking into the from point A to point B stories are required. So in terms of the specific value addition coming, that because the MasterCard also heavily involving with CPM Sri Lanka, in that sense, not just partnering for working with the organization. Instead, we want to look at the development, as the president said, this bringing, enhancing, developing digital literacy domain also to the next level. So the professional body like Chartered Professional Managers of Sri Lanka can do that or play that kind of a relatively a significant role, that because diverse professionals such as finance, marketing, HR, IT are under this umbrella. So therefore, they can come forward and look at what is their the success story, or that efforts, or that what they have done and attempted and looked at new insights. We want to hear from them as well. The world is heading towards this greener pastures, embedding this macro level global challenges. So in that sense, we can't forget this ESG. So the environmental, social, and governance dimension is implicitly, inextricably part and parcel with our responsibility domain. So therefore, we have to consider that. And we should not just like exclude any other research papers and projects. So therefore, that 4th category also open for that. But at the end of the day, what we are looking for, we are inviting all the like-minded professionals and the corporate practitioners, consultants, those who are heavily involved with, even in social researchers, where those who have done some practical insights, please come forward and share it. Let me conclude by highlighting one thing. So CPM has been doing since inception, time to time, a lot of research initiatives, but this has been particularly introduced last year to get it to a formal development platform. So in that sense, we saw that last year, December, at the forum, we witnessed that how the participants were eagerly waiting to listen to, absorb, get those insights which are deriving from diverse industries. So therefore, our intentions are very clear and sincere. I'm sure as a national professional body, we can do something significant. In that sense, I would say the technical nitty-gritties and kind of a competitive move, and not just presenting a paper and no one listens. No, so we have created a platform. My colleague, Mr. Gayan Gunawardhan, as a technical head, would explain those. So with that, let me conclude handing over control back to the director, Mr. Dilshan.
Thank you very much, Dr. Samantha, for your comprehensive explanation and the overview of this forum. Gentle reminder to the audience, please send your questions via chat box, or you can post direct questions unmuting your mic, but we encourage you to give more questions via chat box. Moving to the next item on the agenda, I would invite Mr. Gayan Gunawardena to explain the technical guidelines of this forum. Over to you, Mr. Gayan.
Thank you, Dilshan. I think you can hear me well, right?
Yes.
Yes, all right. Right. I think as our professor and Dr. Samantha Ratnak also mentioned, the importance of the corporate research. So I'm not going to touch that. And also Mr. Jayasingh already explained how well he experienced the last year event. So I think as far as the importance is already mentioned, the scope already Dr. Samantha mentioned in brief. So I'll straight away go to the technical part of the explanation. So Dilshan, you can move the presentation one page down maybe. We'll start with the topics. Actually, I want to keep more time for your Q&As. And therefore, actually, I am requesting as the first thing, please visit cpmsrilanka.org website, where you can find this document in the download section, and you can download the document, full document, if when you're submitting the research paper, these instructions, the guidelines very well explained in this document. So it is very important that all of you having a copy of this. And if it is difficult to you to find it in the website, still you can talk to our CPM office, and they will share with you the copy of this document. So you can see the topics as Dr. Ratnak already mentioned. We have 4 categories, and we have given kind of a we can say like sample topics here, but we are not limited. That is also mentioned here. We are not limited to these topics, but this is given a large area where you can find your interest inside of these topics, and you can select one of the areas where you think that you can use for this year presentation. So that's the first thing. Then the selection process. Before go to the selection process, I like to mention one of the key things, the time outline of this year research. We are actually hoping and we are expecting to get the case studies which are relevant to the year 2020 and after. 4 years technically. We have 2020, 21, 22, 23 this time, where the post-pandemic period, a lot of companies did so many research, so many internal upgradations, modifications to their corporate structure. So that is the area where we are planning this year. So that is one of the important things. Then initial paper submission, that is where we are starting. So paper submission, you have time until 31st October. So you can do your submissions. Then we will be having 2 rounds of selections. Last year also we followed the same scenario. This year also we are proceed with the same selection methodology, where first round we'll be having our panel of experts doing the blind reviews, where we are expecting to shortlist 25 papers from each categories. There are 4 categories. From each category, 25 papers we are going to shortlist through the first round reviewing process. Then the selected 25 papers will be referring to the second round, where the researchers will have to come and forward their research in a mode of presentation. Everyone will get 20 minutes, where the first 10 minutes for the presentation and the second 10 minutes for the Q&A session. For this session, this review, the second round review, we will be finalizing top 10 from each category. Out of the 25 submissions, 25 presentations, we will be selecting 10 best presentations from the each category. And out of that, we will again shortlist in the best 5, and that best 5 will be presenting on the forum day, final day. From each category, 5 best papers will be selecting for the forum day final presentation. So that is the plan or the kind of the process that we are having. Then submissions, so it's straightforward. You can see page 5 in this document where we are expecting 3,000 words. That is our quantity. That is including your abstract and executive summary, everything. And for the executive summary, actually, we have allocated 10% of the 3,000 words. That is 300 words. About 300 words you can use for your executive summary to introduce what you're going to do and all. Then there are 6 altogether. There are 6 areas we have structured to this report, 3,000 words report: research background, literature review, methodology, your key findings, and implications. So these areas will be there. We should be there in your paper. And the other things are like the paper size is A4 as is a normal thing, and the single space you are using with a margin of 1 inch. Headlines we're expecting to get it in a form of a bold type. And then the fonts, we are flexible, and we have given the flexibility with 3 fonts: Arial, Calibro, Times New Roman, with a font size of 12. So you can use this outline to make the report, and then you have to submit it in electronic format in a MS Word, as a MS Word document, not as a PDF. It has to be MS Word document, and the Word document version, we are expecting it to be Word 2000 or later version, 2000 or after that version of the Word document. So those are the summary inside of this paper. And Dilshan, if you can, yes, this is again, keep that, Dilshan. So 3,000 words I mentioned, word I mentioned, fonts I mentioned. Tables and figures, of course, you have to use the full page width when you are including a table or a figure. You have to use the full page width. References to make it standardized and to align with the CPM research tradition. So we are going to limit it to APA style. So even you are like any other kind of references for this assignment, please use APA style. These are marking. That 6 sections which I mentioned in the previous slide. So we are using the same categories where you can see 10 marks is allocating for the section 1, executive, the background explanation, then literature review, another 10 marks, methodology, another 10 marks. The key area, the most important area is the findings analysis section, where we will get 40 marks or 40% of the total marks, and the implications 20 marks. So basically you can see 60% of the weight is sharing between findings, analysis, and implications. So that is the key area, and the rest of the areas are getting 10 marks. Importantly, point number 6, you can see novelty of the study. The paper also will get 10 marks. So that's how the 100 marks is allocating. The same marking style, the marking format will be using for the presentations as well. If you can go to the next slide, Dilshan. Here, yeah, you can see the same style for the presentation. 10 marks, 10 marks, 10 marks, and the 60 marks for the findings and implications, and 10 marks for the effectiveness of the work. So that is how we are going to allocate the marks for the things. Then the presentation awards, you can see now after you submitted, then after you go through the review process, and after your presentation set for the forum day, top 5 papers. So this is how it will be going. Presentation awards after initial submission, 25 selected, that's I explained. The best 10 papers will get merit award certificates. Best 5 will be getting a special award certificate and a medal. Then overall winners will be selected from each category. and they will be rewarded in the forum day. And the deadlines also given here. I think if you received this document a week or two ago, there should be a small correction we did to the presentation's time, where it was previously mentioned in 27th to 30th December, but we corrected it as 27th to 30th November, because now the forum date have confirmed December. The forum date has been confirmed here, so we have do a little adjustment there. So this is the latest update of the dates. Call of papers it now already started. Paper submission until end of October. Then the reviewing process. Presentations will be between 27th to 30th November, and we are into the final day presentations. Right. Then contact correspondences. You can use this email address given here, and the fees applicable with regard to your submission. It's a kind of a token fee where we'll be having complete the formalities of the event. And if you can go to the next page, Dilshan, the information what you need is there with regard to the payments actually. And here the team, you can see the people behind of the event. And most importantly for your case, it is important that the contacts of our co-secretaries, Achini and Tilini, so they will be there in the CPM office and supporting for your submissions and other things. So they will clarify you on your request. So that is the outline of this page, and I am happy that we have more time. We can keep more time for Q&A session, and I'm handing over back to Dilshan, and I also invite Dr. Ratnaik again to clarify if I missed anything during my quick presentation summary of the technical side. So over to you, Dilshan.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Gayan, for the explanation. Now it's time for the Q&A, the final item of the agenda. So before that, I request all our participants to post your questions if you are there via chat box. Our resource panel will answer all your questions. So it's over to you, audience. Please post your questions if they are. We are ready to answer.
Dr. Ratnak, until someone takes the question, can you please tell the audience with regard, now last year also we had questions like whether they can submit the papers in the hidden names like XYZ company like that, which we didn't permitted last year, and we wanted to have the real name of the companies and things like that. So if you can tell something about, it's a commonly asked question.
Yes. Thank you very much. I think you have very well covered all the technical areas to at that point, because this forum is about open forum, actual cases, actual research, actual areas. So nothing, I would say, hidden, so that they can come forward and openly tell the name and present. So then credibility is very high. So that's a straightforward case. Thank you so much for reminding that.
And we have a question from one gentleman at the audience. Has papers on all categories called received? Has deadline already passed?
No, I think there is no issue with the deadline, no?
Yes, the deadline is 31st October for the submission of papers.
Yeah.
I think he referring to the starting date, Dilshan,
8 August. From 8 August to 31st October, you have time to submit your papers.
Limit of word is 4,000. That is there in the page
3,000.
page number 5, I think, in this document, where all that details have been given. So Jiva, you can check the PDF document. You can update it from the document already updated to the website. You can download from the CPM website download section, or you can drop an email to this email address, bschool@cpmsrilanka.rg, where our co-secretaries will help you to get a copy of the document. We're expecting 3,000 words, 2,500 to 3,000 words, including all additional documents as well.
I think I hope all cleared. Yes, another questions coming. Now we hope all audience you all clear about this the guidelines we publish. But in case if you need any sort of additional support, as we are displaying here, you can reach us. Our office will support you to get more clarity. And this video also available, the recorded version for your further assistance. So it will be uploaded to our website. One more questions there, Doctor. Newly started, we are newly started company, education company, can we write as the company? And another question is coming, should be paper we submit is from previously conducted research or new? Means can our company submit the papers? Over to your panel.
Yeah, Mr. Gayan, you can explain that.
Yeah,
You have mentioned the period, no? Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is 2020 and after. So even it's a newly started company, you're covered because there's no end border for the endpoint. We only set up the starting point as 2020 because of we particularly focusing on the post pandemic time. So still we are on the post pandemic time, and now we have, in addition to the pandemic, now we have economic crisis. So you can connect both together and submit more interesting papers this year. So being a newly started company, it's great. So you will be having a lot of things to tell the other corporates, and we are also very happy to see the newly started companies engaged in business research. Am I correct, Dr. Ratnayak?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Another question is there. I think they ask the paper whether it is from previously conducted research or new.
Well, yeah,
If it is
Doctor.
within the time frame, that's fine. And then it's a full paper. I think Mr. Jasing also asked a question. It's a full paper because it's shortlisted for the second round.
Right. I hope we answered the questions. So due to the interest of time, so we can wind up the session. So before we move that, we must thank our panel.
There's a one other question, Dirshan, from Pramod Panandu is asking, is our research published only on CPM website, or will those available in platforms such as Science Direct? I mean, he's referring the journals, Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah. So the main purpose of the CPM research forum, management research forum, is to get this practical research lineup improved and get this knowledge sharing aspect. We have not been thus far driven by heavily going for a standard ABDCO, other rank journal publication. Probably that would we may consider that in future, but for the moment, no, that we are going to publish as a CPM product. Am I right, Mr. Dishan?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Any more questions, please?
I think it's done. Eh?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, panel, for your great support to get the clarity for our audience. And special notice to the audience, you could prefer all related details from our website, www.cpmsrilanka.org, or contact our office note 1112590995 or note 7 659 That's a mobile number. So we are happy to assist you. So before we wind up, I must thank all our panel here today, and I would also thank the founder and president of CPM Sri Lanka, Professor Lakshmana Arwatavala, and the governing council members for their blessings and valuable guidance. So while wishing you all a pleasant evening, we are signing off from the Secretariat of CPM Sri Lanka. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, all. Thanks.